Welcome back to Drola's Garage. Today I'm going to continue on the brown bomber here, my 82 SC. Last time I left off was, last place I left off was this AC compressor needs to be bolted back in place. I'm going to replace the two rear struts so I can get this thing out of my way. I'm going to remove the rocker piece here. Since I already removed it on the other side, I kind of like the way it looks without it. Hold on 1 second here. So as you can see, I kind of like that look, more of a hot rod-ish, rat rod, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I got to do. I'm going to take it off of this side. But first things first, I got to get this AC done because that was kind of the last piece of the engine installation. That needs to be done. I got to put the belt on, tighten it up. Otherwise, this engine is ready to go. It runs great. So that's next. And then actually, you know what? First, I'm going to do these guys so I can get this stupid bar out of my way. It's just so annoying having that there. So I'm going to get that done first. So to get these little struts out, there's a pin here. It's supposed to be pushed all the way through, and it's supposed to have a little clip that fits in there. But why put the clip? Why that just makes too much sense. So anyway, like you see back there, if you can see back there, you can't see anything. So okay, so back there you can see it has right there. It has a little clip. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one out, and then pull this one out. This one's gonna be a little bit more of a mission because I have that AC line and the breather line. The breather hose isn't that big a deal, but that AC line is gonna be a little problematic. This one is held on by a 10mm bolt, because why do everything the same? Why not have a different fastener in every hole? Anyway, that's next. So I'm gonna go ahead and I hate to say the word fight with it, but we'll see what happens. That'll be my next tackle, I guess you could say. I have all of these struts that I had from previous projects and such. So I'm gonna take those out and see which one of these matches. They should be good, otherwise I would have thrown them out. So I'll check and see which ones are good, put them on there, and hopefully that will resolve that issue. Okay, so the first one came out without too much of a fight. Now let's go on to that one. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, this one is completely shot. Look at that. Completely shot. This one still has a good amount of resistance. So I'm gonna see if I put that one back and just replace that one. That one is garbage. Even having just replaced one, it stays up by itself. Look at that. No more need for that stupid bar or whatever that thing was. And done. Let me get the tools out of here. And my flashlight. And voila. Excellent. I don't know how that's gonna hold up with the fiberglass ducktail. That one there is pretty strong, so we'll see. For now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Should have thought about that. I probably should have put the ducktail on first, but for the ducktail, I need to figure out how I'm gonna mount this AC condenser, so I'm gonna hold off on that for now. But that part is done. So now goes the AC compressor. Bunch of bolts and brackets and such. This is the bracket that holds the compressor on. I don't know why they made this so complicated. Probably because air conditioning on these cars was an afterthought. Originally, especially for Europe, most of these cars probably didn't even come with air conditioning, but we Americans gotta have our comfort, you know what I mean? So AC, and then they gotta put AC in the car. So I need to bolt it all down. I had actually just replaced this AC compressor. The other one was shot, so I bought a brand new one. I was gonna see if I get the other one replaced, but they just sold me a new one. So the AC in this car actually does work. So next, bracket. So we got the AC compressor installed, nice and firm, belt's nice and tight, not overly tight. I don't like to super duper tighten them. I guess if it squeals or whatever in the future, I can always retighten it. So for now, the AC is good. That aspect is done. So yeah, I'm happy, making progress. Check that out. Whee! God, this looks so ugly. That was the idea for putting the ducktail. But if for some reason if I can't make the ducktail work, maybe what I can do is just put some button head screws here instead of these big Allen, I don't know whose bright idea that was, but somebody thought that was a good idea. But anyway, maybe it's just some button head screws to make it a little less ugly. I guess the car had a whale tail at some point in the past. And they put those bolts there to cover up the holes that were left behind when they removed the ducktail. But for now, I'll just leave it like that. Next on the chopping block is the rocker panel here, this little trim. It's got 2 Phillips screws here, 2 Phillips screws here. At least it's supposed to be 2. Yeah, 1 here, 1 on the bottom. Then I need to remove the rubber strip. Then I need to take out these little bolts here on the bottom. There's, I think, 4 of them or 3 of them. And then behind the rubber strip is, there should be some Phillips screws. Again, people have been here before, so who knows what I'm actually going to find back there, but that's what's supposed to be there. So that's going to be next here. And working towards my hot rod, rat rod, whatever theme I'm going for here. Well, there they are. They fortunately came off without much of a fight. So I need to just clean this up. There's always grime hidden back there, but man, it just looks so much better without that rocker. I mean, not that it looks bad with the rocker, it just looks so much better without it. So yeah, you got this exposed, which is not necessarily pretty, but it is what it is, you know? Cool. All right. I think that was all I planned to do today. It went along fairly quickly and uneventfully. You know, when things go so smooth, you're like, okay, what's next? What's gonna bite me? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Let's see what else I can get done today. Fortunately, it's what's today? Today's a Saturday. It's pretty quiet out. Nobody's bugging me. My phone's not ringing. So it is. If there was a day to work on this car, it's today. So I'll see what else I get done. I got to move this 996 out of the way too, because it's. I don't know if I'm gonna want to do anything else with the brown car. I need to get this car out. So we'll see. But for now, I'll see what else I can get done. I'm gonna throw this out there. I've had a lot of people ask me about scissor lifts. I bought this one. It's a snap-on. I bought it a number of years ago from a guy who used to work on bugs. I paid like $1,000 for it. And let me tell you, for these cars, it is phenomenal. It raises the car fairly high. I mean, that's got to be, I don't know, 5 feet maybe from the floor. I can easily drop motors. And it's got wheels. You can move it around. So also, this particular one that I have is a solid platform one. So when there's not a car on it, actually you can work on motorcycles, you can use it as a workbench, whatever. You know, the downside is, for example, if I ever want to work on the front of the car, it does not really allow me to do that. That's the one drawback. Like, for example, if I wanted to change these bushings, not that you can see here because it's dark, but if I wanted to do something up here, fuel pump, master cylinder, control arm bushings or anything like that, I would not be able to do that on this lift unless I turn the car around. I'd probably have to turn the lift around and turn the car around, but that's just because of the way I have it set up there. But otherwise, I definitely give them a thumbs up. It's an excellent thing to have in the shop. If I had it at home, I would bury it. I would make like a recess in the ground, and that way it's flush. And now I got a train going by, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. But anyway, thumbs up, scissor lifts, recommended. One of the things I needed to do here was rebuild the rear calipers. I've already rebuilt the fronts. I put stainless brake lines all around, but I needed to do the rears. So I came to do the rears, and guess what? Some workshop bent the hard line all the way in. So in order for me to try to get the fitting out, you know, with my 11 millimeter, I had to bend it back. And just in bending it back, guess what happened? Yeah, you guessed it. It broke because some workshop kicked the crap out of it. And now I have a leaker. So one more thing to fix. Have I mentioned that I don't like workshops? I don't know if I've said that, but I don't like workshops. I don't like when other people touch cars. I just seem to always be disappointed in the work that I see from other people. But it is what it is. Time to fix it. This bolt here in the back is such a pain to get to. Such a pain, especially with the brake line intact. Major PITA for all of you who know what that means. If you don't know what it means, look it up. Major. All right. I got the two rear calipers out. This one, I was trying to get it out, and it's just, you know what, I don't want to break that line also. So I just left it alone. I disconnected it from where it goes to the braided line that I just put in. So now it's time to take them apart. These are super easy to do. It just took me a few minutes to do them. I've got the two calipers completely disassembled. You see all the little bits and pieces here. What I do when I take when I rebuild these calipers, I'll take some like 2000 grit and just clean those up, or maybe even 3000. I'll see the finest I can find. Clean up these little pistons here as well as I can, and then also the bores inside of the calipers. I'll take a clean rag, clean them out, get all the corrosion. There's usually corrosion on the outside, and you can't really see because it's kind of dark, but there'll be corrosion on the outside of where the seal goes, and the inside is usually pretty clean. So I will clean all of that up real well, clean the pistons. I got my two rebuild kits right here. So that's the next step right now, is just to get these guys cleaned up and ready for reassembly. Okay, calipers are back together. As you can see, all new seals, all new dust caps, etc., etc. I got the pistons in their correct orientation. You know, that's a very important step that a lot of times I have seen when people rebuild these calipers, that they don't put these pistons in their proper orientation. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can find one. Inside of the top of the piston, I don't know if you can see, it has like a cutout. That has to go in a certain orientation to the rotation of the rotor for even pad wear. Otherwise, your pads will wear completely out of whack. You won't know why. You don't know what happened. All you know is that your pads are screwed. So it's very important to get those two little pistons, or the four pistons actually, in their proper orientation, or you will be going through brake pads at an alarming rate. Not only that, but they'll wear like this. Instead of wearing flat, they'll wear sideways, and it's kind of frustrating. So fortunately, I was able to find a piece of brake line. So with my little handy dandy pipe bender here, I will imitate this one here and get them back on the car and hopefully call it a day. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so I made one that pretty much matches. Obviously it goes in the other direction. I haven't tightened it yet, but I think that'll work just fine. So these guys are ready to go back on. Actually, this one will go like that. Pads are in, all the pins, everything is good. So we are good to go. In they go. The calipers are in, they're done. That new brake line is in. Everything lined up perfectly. This side as well. As you can see, I need to spray some brake parts cleaner there, but I already wiped the that excess brake fluid that fell. The calipers don't look new. If you want new, call P&B or Performance or whatever they're called, that caliper company. I don't really care. All I know is inside they're new, seals are new, everything's clean. So they're ready for many years of service. So that's gonna wrap it up for today on the Brown Bomber, the 82SC. I think I made some pretty decent progress. It's kind of been slow. The progress actually goes pretty quickly. It's just me that is slow in getting moving, you know what I mean? So I think today, it doesn't really seem like much, but just the fact that, I got this compressor done, so it's ready to go. I got the rear brakes done. That's something that had been bugging me. The fronts were already done. I think I had mentioned before the brakes were done, but the rears were not. I got the brake lines in there and everything, the stainless steel brake lines. I got the hood strut, the decklid struts in there, so now it works properly. It goes up like it's supposed to. I don't have to have that stupid bar there to holding it up. The rocker panel on this side is gone. I have to pull the car outside and wash it because it's got all that crud down there. Who knows when the last time that rocker panel had actually been off the car. So it needs to be washed. This side too. I took this side off and I think I just wiped it down, but it needs to be properly cleaned. So I think the next steps for this car is to, I gotta bleed the brakes. That will be probably the next step. Put the bumper on, the rear bumper, and then see about whether I do the ducktail. The idea is to put the ducktail. I just got to see how I'm going to mount that AC condenser because the ducktail does not have the brackets or anything like that to mount that ducktail. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. What else? And then I got to get working on the interior. The interior doesn't need much, but a couple hours of work and it should be good to go. And then I think this car would be pretty much ready. I got to get it back on the road, drive it around and make sure all the bugs. This car had a lot of bugs when I bought it, just little things, and it just one by one and having to sort them out. But it's coming along. I'm happy with the progress and it will get done. So it's time to go. I think Piggy over here, Pig. Yeah, freaking bulldogs. It's time to go home. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It helps me out. Like I said earlier, I was joking that, I need to buy a proper tripod. But hey, but anyway, so yeah, if you subscribe, it helps me. Hit the like button, all that sort of stuff. So I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for the next one. There will be another one pretty soon on this car. And again, thanks for watching.